Hey guys, I hope you're having a great Sunday afternoon. I'm really excited to be able to have some time to talk to everyone as a collective whole today. I think it's really important that we get together at certain times and calibrate and talk about what we're trying to do. You can't get to where you're going without knowing why you're going there and where you're trying to get, right? Let me first off say that I'm so sorry that I can't be there with you guys today. We had a death in the family, and so we will be out taking care of some paperwork today, and it was just not something that I could move to another day. But I wanted to record this video so that I could spend some intentional time with you guys talking about what we're trying to do this year and calibrating on some things that we need to go back to doing. So I apologize for not being able to be there with you guys. I also want to say I am recording this video in my kitchen and I'm going to try to record it in one take, which has not worked out for me so far. This is take two. But I'm going to try to record it in one take. So if I pause and have to think, or if I go back and correct myself or something like that, it's because this video is being recorded in one take so that I can be a good steward of my family's time and because we really have to go somewhere pretty soon. But again, I'm so excited to be able to spend this time with you guys. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. It's your Sunday. I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but I want you to know just a few things. Let me start off by saying Happy New Year. I can't believe it's 20 some odd, let me see my calendar, 20 days. It's 20 days into the new year. I can't believe that it's gone by that fast. For those of you that don't know me very well, I know that we have hopefully some new hires here at the meeting and some people who have only worked for us for a month or two. My name is Ashley Smith. And I'm your operations director. And so I deal with Jeffrey. And I deal with setting the vision for the business and our financials, and just, stewarding our senior leadership team, our whole leadership team, and payroll and different things like that. I generally act as what you would call a general manager for the business. I hope to have met every single one of you, and if I haven't, please introduce yourself next time you work and tell me a little bit about you. There's a few people that I haven't quite been able to connect with yet. Hopefully you enjoyed 2018. I know a lot of us had some growth challenges, whether it be in our personal life or our work life. And we had some growth challenges at the store as well. And we had a lot of successes as well. I'm going to read this because I want to give you guys exact numbers of what we were able to accomplish last year. So in 2018, we closed our year with $5,930,032.52. That is absolutely amazing. We're almost a $6 million store, guys. That means you work for an almost $6 million business. And you know what? I'll give you the say so. You can go ahead and cheat and tell people you work for a $6 million business because we will be this year. I guarantee it. So that being said, we were only $90,600 short of our symbol goal. So if you were with us at the beginning of last year or you heard us throughout the year, we were talking about winning symbol. We really wanted to win symbol. And what that was, it's essentially a sales award. So if we're able to grow our sales by a certain percentage in one calendar year, we win what's called symbol. We win a car for the restaurant, technically for Jeffrey. And just a lot of accolades and a lot of, celebration if you're able to do that. We weren't able to do that. We were only $90,000 short, like I said, but don't focus on what we weren't able to do because I'm incredibly proud of you guys. I'm incredibly proud of our business because we were able to increase our sales by $847,123.87 last year. That is absolutely insane. Could you imagine growing a business by almost $1 million every single year? And that's what we were able to do last year. $1 million is a heck of a lot of money. And it means that we served a ton more people than we did the previous year. And I'm absolutely so proud of each and every one of you, whether you were here for one day in 2018 or the whole year. It took every single one of us to be able to accomplish that. It took you serving guests day in and day out, growing, changing, just remarkable customer service. I mean, we hear it all the time, but you guys really did that and you owned that. And I'm so proud of each and every single one of you. That's, 80% of the way to $1 million. And like I said, that's absolutely remarkable. I really look forward to all of the things that we have to come in 2019, but I don't want to gloss over all of the things that we did in 2018. And for those of you who know, or for those of you who don't know, every year as a senior leadership team, so our director team, we go away from the business and we sit down and we plan what we want to do in the following year. So that's what we did Monday and Tuesday of this past week. And that's why we find it so important to speak to you guys at this particular time. I know for some of you it was short notice. And so I'm so glad for those of you that could be here. And for those of you that can't, you get to watch my video online at some later time, and Jeffrey's recording as well. That being said, it was more than just money that we did in 2018. As we reflected on our year this past Monday and Tuesday, people brought up stuff that I had totally forgotten about that are circling back around for this year. So we were able to sell 495 Valentine's Day cookies. We were able to sell almost $20,000, actually I think more than $20,000 in Christmas merchandise, which is absolutely remarkable, especially considering that we didn't have the traditional calendars to sell this year. So it was something completely new that you guys were doing. We had tons of events this past year. Some of them were first for us. We did a Little Sweethearts dinner in around Valentine's Day, which we'll be doing again this year. We had our first huge offsite event over at the Hoover Met with our Under the Sea daddy-daughter date night, Little Sweethearts dinner. We had a limo for the first time. Just some remarkable events that we were able to do. Spirit nights. We had some remarkable spirit nights. We had a spirit night for one of our team members' sister, who has some health issues. And so we were able to raise money for her. We had tons of amazing employees of the month. We did employee of the month for the first full year this year. Some fun sales contests. And then we had turnover. We had people who came and joined our business for only a couple weeks. We have new people who have been with us almost a year now, which is amazing. They're not new anymore. And then we had turnover in our senior leadership and our leadership team as well, which means that you guys got to be led by all new leaders, which is, it can be a challenge, but we believe that we're all the better for it. And we're really ready to embrace 2019. We have a whole theme for this year, and we are so excited to be able to do that. I want to also mention all the different members of our leadership team. If you are new here, maybe you haven't gotten to meet them all, and they're not all here today either. Some of them are out traveling, grand opening, new restaurants, which is a really cool opportunity that you guys will be able to do, as you grow with us. But let me just mention all of them. Hopefully I don't miss anybody. But we have Oliver. Oliver is our director of hospitality. And if you're there, stand up so everybody can clap for you. So Oliver is our director of hospitality, and he deals with everything in the front counter that's not drive-through. So whether it's equipment on the front counter that's not drive-through, or it's team members joining the hospitality team, everything from the dining room to the front counter, to the outside of the restaurant, to the bathrooms. Oliver deals with those things and leads that part of the business for us. Next we have Camry, and Camry is our assistant drive-through director, and he deals with setting the vision and the equipment and the people in the drive-through. Next, we have Hillary. Hillary is officially our marketing director. So she's been our marketing director and human resources director in the past. She's also helped us with training. She's very versatile, but she is officially this year our full-on marketing director. And so she'll be dealing with everything from spirit nights to schools, to community events, to our social media. And she does a really great job. So thank you, Hillary, wherever you are. We also have Brittany. Brittany is also one of our newest assistant directors. She helps me with assisting in operations and all the things that I need to get done, which is a huge blessing. And she will also be taking on human resources this year. So in January, she's flowing in and learning to the hiring process, onboarding, employee tenure, which includes things like write-ups, which is not her favorite part of her job. Just know that when she sends them to you, it's not her favorite part of her job, or tracks you down to sign them. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But she's doing a really amazing job learning all of her new tasks. It's a huge part of the business to bite off, especially as we grow in 2019. And then we have Anita. Anita is our production director, aka back of the house, aka kitchen. Anita has really grown, and I'm so proud of her to take on this huge role. We cannot, so, for those of you who know, drive-through, 63% of our business last year. Front counter, I think together made up 37 because you have catering in there that goes towards marketing. Back of the house or production is 100% of our business. I don't know if you guys know this, but we sell chicken here, and we can't sell chicken if we can't make chicken, and all of that chicken comes from the back of the house. So Anita really deserves a huge round of applause. So does her whole team in the back of the house. So you can applaud now if you haven't already. She really has taken on a huge piece of the business, and we really appreciate her for it, and she's doing an amazing job. And then finally, hopefully I didn't skip anybody, we have Josh. And Josh, for those of you who know or don't know, his goal in joining us was to become an operator. And so he served in a ton of different areas of the business so that he can grow and learn to be able to do that one day. And so for this part of the year, for this part of the year, he's going to be taking on what we're calling metrics and measurement. And so this is a new area of the business for us that we are trying to tap into. And what that looks like is identifying opportunities for growth and celebration. And what that means is he's going to take all the scores that we get in our business, whether it be from us measuring ourselves, like with the daily safe in the back of the house or the ERQA, others measuring us, like our customers through our CEM scores when they fill out those surveys on their receipts, or we have a company that Chick-fil-A has come and evaluate us a couple times a year. We also have our health department that comes and evaluates us a couple times a year as well. So he's going to compile and take all of those numbers and help better communicate them to you. That's a huge area of the business that we want to improve on this year. You guys knowing where we stand and where we're trying to go. And then he's also going to help us as a director team take action on those. So actually analyzing them and putting into place conversations with people and putting into place training on those different things that we identify that we need to improve in, and then helping us celebrate when we actually achieve something really good. So thank you, Josh. He's definitely not there. He is doing a grand opening in Arizona. So thank you to him. You can give him a virtual, round of applause. But that's your director team. Les Jeffrey, I'll let him talk about himself. So that's your director team. That's who we plan to roll with for 2019. Not to say that we don't have space on our director team. We always have different areas of the business that we want to grow in. But that is who will be serving you in 2019. And we got goals. And we put them into a cool acronym for 2019. It is Light the Fire. And I have special effects here. Ooh, candle. And I haven't determined if you're reading this backwards or not. I know that happens in cameras and mirrors sometimes. But it says Light the Fire, Chick-fil-A The Grove. And this is an acronym to help us remember our goals for this year. Now, the way we determined and set our goals for this year was very intentional. We went back and we looked at different areas of the business that we wanted to grow in and things that we didn't grow in last year, things that we didn't do well last year, and we set goals to do those this year. And so, light the fire part of that is the acronym. And so, let me talk to you about each of our goals. The first is F, and F is financial stewardship. If you don't know what a steward is, I will ask Jeffrey to touch on it more. And he's supposed to go after me, so hopefully he's going after. I'll ask him to touch on it more. He's going to talk about customer service and the customer, centering your heart around customers. And I'll ask him to talk more about stewardship. But what a steward is somebody who shepherds or takes care of something. And financial stewardship means that we're taking care of and shepherding the money that's in our business. We are a business, and so this is an important area for us to focus on because we're Chick-fil-A and because it's Jeffrey and I. There's a lot of times where we like to be extravagant or really kind-hearted. For those of you that have been able to be, touched by some of our financials this year, and it's great, and we're not going to stop doing that, but we're also a business. And so we need to make sure that we have good financial stewardship so that we can continue being a business. And what that looks like is making sure that we run good profit this year and make good decisions with our financials. And so you may be asking me, what is profit? Like, what does that mean? And so profit is this, okay? This is a formula for profit, super simple. We get money into the store, and those are called sales. So those are all the customers that you serve throughout the day who pay us, and that money is called sales, and that sits at the top of this formula. The next piece that we have are expenses, okay? And so expenses are things like wages, what we pay you guys, that's known as labor. Food, the food that we buy off the truck, the food that comes from produce. Rent, we actually don't have rent on this building, but things like rent, power, electricity, repairs, those are all expenses. So you take the sales, you minus the expenses, we send some money to Chick-fil-A because they let us have this awesome business, and whatever's left over is called profit. Profit is one of the biggest determining factors for whether or not we're running a great business on the business side. And we want to be able to say that we're doing that. We want to be good stewards of our money, and we want to be a profitable business. Being a profitable business allows us to serve our community better. It allows us to do things like give you guys raises because we're not spending money in areas that we don't need to, so we can reallocate that. Have more events, buy more equipment, just tons of different things, or overall just be a more profitable business, which is a factor for determining whether or not we have business opportunities in the future. We set a profit goal marker for last year, and we hit it once. It's determined month by month, so we hit our profit goal once last year. We have the same profit goal this year, and we're going to try to hit it every single month. And what that means is us making sure that we are good financial stewards, that we make good decisions for the business, and in your case, that we protect our assets. And so assets for us are things like our equipment. If we don't have to repair it, that's less money that we don't have to spend. If we don't lose pieces of our equipment, like the knob on the cookie dispenser, if we don't break it, if we don't waste food, if we don't take things when we shouldn't be taking them, and they're not accounted for. So there's all different factors that go into that, and we'll focus on different areas of this throughout the year, so that you guys learn more about what we're trying to do. Know that this year for budgeting, each and every director is budgeting for their particular area. So you're going to hear a lot of like, hey, how much was that? How much is this going to cost? We need to make sure that it fits into our budget. And that's us being good financial stewards, making sure that we're keeping track of what we're spending. Now, in all transparency, this is a very difficult area of the business for Jeffrey and I. Jeffrey is very kind-hearted, and he likes to spend his money to, for whatever. And me personally, I'm very extravagant. I like to put on huge, extravagant events. And so this is an area that we've always not done very well in. And so it's going to take all of us pouring into it to make sure that we're able to be good financial stewards. And I want you to understand that it's not about being stingy. It's not about us saying, that we're not going to give raises or anything like that, because it's actually the opposite. It's about us protecting our money when we don't need to be spending it, so that we can do things like that, so that we can give out raises, and so that we can help team members that are in need and help our community. It's about us spending money wisely versus just spending it. So that's financial stewardship, and that's the F in the FIRE equation. The next is I, and I stands for intentional leadership. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one, but what this means is us being able to spend intentional time with you guys. Instead of just having meetings, to talk about things, we spend intentional time having training sessions, spending more time having meetings with you guys when we need to, intentionally developing our leadership team, and intentionally developing each and every one of you. And that takes us growing as leaders and you guys growing as team members. So intentional leadership, that's the I. The R is refine and redefine. And this is an area of our business that we made a lot of growth in last year, but we still have a lot of growth to accomplish. And this looks like taking areas of our business that are in chaos, creating a system, and then further developing that system into a program. You'll see this come online a lot in the beginning quarter of the year. The directors are seeing it already with the budget worksheets that they have to fill out now. That's a system that we created for our business. They have time sheets that they fill out now to help them keep on track on projects. And you guys will see it too as we get more training online. That's a big area of focus for us in the first quarter of this year. You guys may remember the growth track that we had in spring of last year. And then we got E-Train, changed to Pathway, and then this, that, and the other. And we just had to keep moving. So we're going to go back and take this area that's become chaos, that is training in our business, and put that system into place that we originally intended to, and then further develop that system into a program. So you'll see us taking different areas of the business this year and doing just that. So that's refine and redefine. And the final is the E. And the E stands for expand the bench. And this is a sports term, and you guys know, those of you who have been with us for a while, I'm not great at sports analogies. I've gotten really good at it though, so I'm going to try. So sports analogy wise, expand the bench means you guys have the players in sports that kind of sit on the side of the field, right? And the people that go onto the field and play first, those are your first string players, or your starters. I think they're your starters. Those are the ones who are fully developed. They get to play in the game first. They are the all-stars. Then you have people waiting on the side of the field to play next, and those are second string, and they can do everything that the starters can do, just maybe not as good. They don't have as much practice. And then you have the third string who are waiting for the second string to go play and then get out of the game, and so on and so forth. I'm pretty sure I did great with this analogy. Long story short, what this means for our business is us developing different layers of leadership in the business and different layers of team members in the business, and growing those layers. So we want to have people who are directors and assistant directors, but each of those people are developing shift leaders to one day be able to have those responsibilities that they have. And shift leaders are developing junior leaders, and junior leaders are developing team members. Team members are developing new team members. And we have all these different layers, and then each layer is expanded. So the bench is expanded. Hopefully I did a good job explaining that. But that just means all of us growing, having an attitude of growing, having an attitude of learning, and having an attitude of growing those around us and underneath us. So that is FIRE. Let me go over it again. So it's financial stewardship, intentional leadership, refine and redefine, and expand the bench. Now, oh wait, I have my cool special effects. Wait, okay. So that is FIRE. That's our acronym that we're going to use to remember our full 4 goals for this year. Some of these goals came out of a big desire for us, a desire to expand, actually all of these goals, a desire to expand our business. And the store can only grow so much. And so our desire to expand our business comes from us preparing for an opportunity. And this opportunity would be for us to get a second business, for us to get a second store. Now, when I say this, know that there's not a second store on the horizon. They're not about to build a second store and we're just not telling y'all, or that, we're about to get somebody else's store and then we're not telling you. No, there's no current opportunity for that for us. But when opportunities arise, you need to be ready for them. And so that is our goal, to take this entire year to prepare to be ready for that opportunity so that when it does arise, we can expand and grow our business. You guys can have the opportunity to work at 2 different stores if you want to. Go work at whatever the other store is, wherever it is, and grow. Because if we have more business to steward and grow, the more opportunities there are for people in our business. So those are our goals for 2019. If you have questions, write them down, capture them, and I'm sure Jeff and the rest of the leadership team will do a great job answering them. If you were sparked by this, you want to light the fire, and there's something that you're so interested in, come and talk to me. I want to know what it is. We may not have a place for it right now. We may not have, an opportunity for growth this particular second, but I want to make sure that we're developing it so that you guys can all grow with us. That being said, let's talk about something else that we're going to focus on in the first quarter of this year besides our 4 goals. And it's the same thing that we focus on every year for really as long as I've been in Chick-fil-A, and that is getting back to basics. And the reason that we focused on this in January, at the beginning of the year, in the first quarter, is because as the business gets busier and busier throughout the year, we tend to wane. We tend to get off course when it comes from just the basics of being able to be a team member, to being able to give good customer service and things like that. So Jeffrey's going to be talking about the customer service piece of this. I want to talk to you guys about the team member piece of this. And let's be realistic with ourselves. As we go on throughout the year, whether it's how we show up to work or what we're eating, or how much we're exercising, we just wane from our goals that we set for ourselves at the beginning of the year. But New Year's is a time for us to really align ourselves. And y'all, I want to do better at this year, because we can't grow if we can't even get the basics down. And this is the exact same thing I said last year, but I really mean it. And I hope that all of your shift leaders and your leaders mean it too, because we don't want to be sergeants. We don't want to be sergeants that have to drill down on team members, and we don't want to have to be sergeants to ourselves. We want to get in good routine so that these basic things are things that we don't have to think about, and we can use our time to do better things, to grow, to learn more. I want to touch on some of the things that we've been struggling with that really shouldn't be struggles. So we really need to get back to basics, and I'm busy right now. I'm taping a video. Go. Come back later. I love you too. It's my son. So I lost my train of thought. So we want to get back to basics in these areas that shouldn't be areas that we have to focus on at all. And so it's going to take all of us working collectively, and then also an understanding that when we talk to you about these things, these are the basic expectations. Don't get upset. Let's just fix it and move on. So the first thing I want to talk about is uniform standards. Super basic here. Do you have your shirt? Is it clean? Do you have your pants? Are they clean? Are you wearing your belt? Is your shirt tucked in? Are you wearing the right shoes, the right socks? These are simple things that we shouldn't even have to talk about. These are things that you should wake up in the morning, know you're going to work, make sure you have all your stuff, put it on, go to work. We are not going to let this slide this year. We're not going to let it slide for you wearing non-UB jackets. We're not going to let it slide for you not having your shirt tucked in, not having your belt. If you are missing these things, you will receive a write-up. I'm sorry, but this is just the way the business goes. This is the absolute basic of you being able to operate in this environment. If we can, we'll let you not clock in and go get those items. You will be late. So, don't worry, we won't write you up for both things, for not having them and being late. But please know that you need to have these items. So if the business can sustain it, you'll have to go back home and get them. And if the business can't, then you'll just be written up for not having them and you'll need to have them the following day. Name tag, same thing. If you don't have your name tag, walk in prepared because you're going to have to buy a new name tag. It costs $5. So be good stewards of your uniform items because it's the basic of having a job. It's the basic of working somewhere. The next is grooming and jewelry. Please take some time to review on Pathway the jewelry and grooming standards here at Chick-fil-A. But I'm going to recap them very quick for you guys. The only piece of jewelry that you can have on is one plain wedding band, and 2 earrings without stones in them if you're a female. That's it. So if you have rings, bracelets, watches that aren't smart watches, we're going to let you guys wear your smart watches because I know a lot of you guys track your health with them and whatnot. Watches that aren't smart watches, bracelets, necklaces that dangle down. If you have a long necklace that can tuck into your blouse, that's fine. But all of these items need to be removed. And we don't want to have to ask you to remove them. Just come to work without them. Big loop earrings, all those things, earrings with stones in them, just go ahead and remove them. This is a standard for everybody in our business. So if there's somebody who's working on the front counter, so this is actually working. If they're working on the front counter or working around food, tell them to take it off. Let's all keep each other accountable and hold each other accountable as part of 360 leadership. That's jewelry. Let's talk about grooming. Grooming, you need to be freshly shaven if you're a male. Ladies, you need to have your hair up and pulled back out of your face. So if you need some bobby pins, go ahead and grab them at the local store. They cost about $1. Your hair needs to be up, and if it's longer than your collar, it needs to be in a braid or a bun. That goes for everybody. Nails. We've had a huge issue at the end of the year with nail polish and fake nails. If you look down at your hands right now and you have nail polish or fake nails on, make sure it's not there tomorrow. This is a health code violation of 4 points, which means that you can take our health score from 100% to 97, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, I think that's wrong. Whatever, you guys calculate. 96. A 96 just by you having fake nails or nail polish on. You do not want to be that person in our business. Make sure that we're following the standards here. So that's uniforms, jewelry, employee grooming. And the next is employee drinks. There's one simple rule for employee drinks. We offer you to bring your own bottle. This is actually my son's here. Own bottle, fill it up with whatever you want. That's a free flowing drink. So lemonade, water, fountain drinks, iced tea, as long as it's not a single serve beverage. Or you can purchase a cup from us at a discounted price. If you purchase a cup from us, then you must have a receipt on it. You just slap the receipt through the straw area. If you don't want to keep track of the receipt, you can ask the leader to sign it for you and date it for you. If your cup does not have either of these items, it will be thrown away. And if I keep encountering, and not just me, but everybody, if a leadership keeps encountering cups that don't have receipts or initials on them, if this keeps being an issue because we consider that stealing, you have no way to prove that you purchased that cup from us, we will go to bottles only and it'll be just water. Because this is an area of our business that we lost money in last year at the end of the year because drinks weren't being tracked properly. And we could just walk around the business at any given time seeing employee drinks without the standards on them. In addition, employee drinks cannot be kept in customer service or food service areas. So if we see drinks on the bagging station, in drive-through, tons of drinks on the podium, then we will have to take away the drinks and it'll be just water. If you are in an area where you can't go back and get a drink while you're working, so like in the bagging area or in the drive-through window, we can come up with some places for you to store your drink, but it's not in the food service areas right next to where we're bagging or where we're serving our guests. The next is parking. Please park in the designated spots, which are across the street. If you're new with us and you're not sure, maybe this got skipped over, or you've just waned from doing that for whatever reason, park across the street, please. Phones, we've had a huge issue at the end of the year with phones. If we cannot keep our phones in our pockets and not be playing on them, with the exception of checking T-Map or something like that, especially in the drive-through cockpit area, which is where we serve our guests in the drive-through, or the back drive-through area where we're taking orders, we will have to go back to the original policy of not being able to keep phones on you in the restaurant. I don't want to do that. I know for a lot of you and for me as well, that can produce anxiety. Maybe you are having somebody who may need to call you in case of an emergency, or you have kids or whatnot. Stay off the phones. And the last I want to cover is music up front. We can't be playing music up front in customer service areas. I don't know why this got started. I don't know why this is a thing, but we can't do it. I'm so sorry. Feel free to talk to your fellow employees, have a great time, but music playing in guest service areas just can't be a part of that. And that just has to do with, guests have different tastes from us. We can't determine what everybody likes and what they don't like. And it can be distracting for our order accuracy as well. And Jeffrey, if you will talk about order accuracy, I appreciate that as well. So I don't drone on here and take up a bunch of people's time. That being said, those are the standards I'm reminding you of, but you know what the standards are. And if you don't, and you're not sure what we're talking about, come see me, come see another leader, but we need to get back to those basics, and leaders, we need to be holding people accountable. The final thing I want to talk to you about is just a quick and simple system of DocuSign. Now, at the end of last year, we moved to DocuSign for all of our disciplinary action write-ups. And what that means is instead of having paper write-ups will come to your email. When you're getting these, you have 3 business days to sign them. If you are unable to sign them in those 3 business days or take action, meaning you contact myself or Brittany, or you decline to sign, or you respond with a comment filled out, any of those things are considered taking action, a text, a phone call, what have you. If you do not take action in those 3 days and you just don't do anything about it, you let it sit there, you will be paid minimum wage from the 3rd day until you sign and take care of that piece of business. That being said, if you feel like maybe you don't have the right email on file, we use your email on file. So use the link that's on TMAP to make sure that you sign, to make sure that you have the right email on there. All right, guys. Well, I have to go, but I hope that you've had a wonderful Sunday. I hope that all of this information has been helpful to you. I hate to end on that negative note, but let's light the fire this year and have some amazing goals. Let's reach our amazing goals and let's do great things. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it.